So tomorrow I'm going to try to go for my first run with a running stroller.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know how that's going to go, but my wife found somebody on like Facebook Marketplace who was just giving away a running stroller. It's like one of those Bob strollers, and they're like normally like $600. And so she took it home, and it looked like dog shit. It did not look anything like the pictures. So I basically disassembled the entire thing. I took all the fabric off of it, and I just put it in our brand new fucking washing machine. I'm like, I really don't want to break my washing machine because there's like rivets and stuff in the fabric. But I figured, people wash like denim and shit. I mean, it should be fine. And sure enough, came out spotless. Somebody definitely just left it outside for like 6 months and then forgot about it and was like, I'm not cleaning this.
I'm gonna give it away.
Wiped it down, gassed up the tires. It's like an ugly color. It's like black and like mustard yellow. But, I mean, it's got some nice bounce to it. It's got some nice, like the wheels are super fast. Like it's definitely made for running. So I might try to, I'm doing double duty tomorrow anyway, working from home and watching the baby. So I might try to go for a little run with him and see how that goes.
That'll be sick.
Basically pushing like a 25-pound weight around. Yeah. Like I'm going to be pushing like a football sled, like a teeny tiny football sled
for miles.
Yeah, but that would be good if I can. Yeah, it'll add some like resistance training.
Yeah,
add some resistance training.
A little strength with the cardio.
What up, Cole? Oh damn, they got some FlyQuest scarves.
Yeah, some scarves coming out. I think
I just saw Carly tweeted those. Dude, my phone must have been listening because that's the first thing that popped up.
It'll be cool though, dude. LCS kind of went crazy last weekend. A lot of surprises. JDG from China is no longer going to Worlds, which is like pretty astounding news considering they are usually one of the top 2 favorites to win it.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm just tweeting this out real quick.
I think LCK final is this weekend as well. I don't know if T1's in it, honestly.
What? Is it even allowed?
Is
it like like the Patriots winning like the fucking AFC championship and they're like what is this dog shit trophy? Like
yeah. So I assume they're definitely in it because Korea has 4 teams making it because they won MSI or whatever. So
yeah.
T1 is in top 4. They're actually top 3 right now, but they're playing the team they just got 3-0 to a couple weeks ago. So they might finish third.
All right.
Be a little,
but I mean, it's not the trophy that matters.
One last dance for Faker.
Oh, that's true.
Allegedly.
That's true. All right, let's do this. On this episode of Not Another Gaming Podcast, we are going to be talking all things related to the LCS playoffs coming up this weekend. LCS finals, right around the corner. 100 Thieves, FlyQuest, and Team Liquid. 3 enter, only 1 leave as LCS Summer Split champions. We also have reactions to Concord being one of the biggest flops in video game history. Tiggy's going to be talking a little Quidditch champions. Maybe we'll do a little fantasy football talk. I'm sure we've all had our drafts, but maybe we could do a little fantasy football talk. NFL is back tonight, so maybe we do a little crosstalk there. We talk about our fantasy football rosters. All that and more. Episode 404 of Not Another Gaming Podcast. Let's go.
Pretty sick, right? Pretty sick. Yeah. For waiting so long for the jerseys.
Yo, welcome back to Not Another Gaming Podcast. It's your boy, Papa Dom. I did not realize all the sound effects were going to be playing right there, but they did. So I'm sorry about your ears. We're back, episode 404. We are on the other side now of the final Monday holiday of the year. We're going into the fall. The summer has come to a close, but we're still here. We're still live. We're still direct, and we are still handsome. Bob is babysitting, so good for Bob. You know, doing a little uncle stuff. The guy just gets a promotion, and he's like, I'll get a raise. I'm like, I could get whatever money I want if I moved anywhere else in the country. And then he's complaining about buying pizza for his nephews. So I hope his nephews run that bar tab up. Get that big cheapo to start fucking coming out of pocket. But of course, sorry, go ahead.
With all this money, why doesn't he just pay a babysitter?
That's what I'm saying, dude. You could have thrown a babysitter $100. Not even. Yeah. He's gonna spend at least $80 if he's going out for pizza with two teenagers.
Mm-hmm. Oh, they're teenagers?
I think so. I think one of his. I don't know. He has like 9 nephews, so I don't know which nephews he's talking about. My assumption is that one of his teenage nephews or something that's like on the verge of probably being able to watch himself. But I don't know. It could be his younger nephews. In which case, he's gonna spend a ton of money and they're not even gonna eat shit. They're just gonna be like they're gonna have one piece and that's it. But yeah. But of course, as always, if you hear a bald eagle screaming and fireworks popping off while you're loading into bronze ranked queue in League of Legends, then you know this man's coming because Uncle Sam's very own representative, amateur golf phenom, the Pedro Sanchez of military base softball, soon to be the Pedro Sanchez in backyard sports, which is coming back soon. Uncredentialed MLB insider and one lucky Jinx cosplayer's future husband, Tiggy Nation. How are you, sir?
I love it when you just add in the Jinx cosplayer future husband. That always just brings a smile because, I mean, every time we go to PAX, I'm always on the lookout for a Jinx, you know? And we got our third and final.
Respectfully.
Yeah, absolutely respectfully. Absolutely. Respectfully. You know, I'm just trying to respect someone really, really good.
Yeah.
So, Arcane final trailer dropped today, actually. I think it's coming out either October or November. So, third trailer. I think it's going to be the final one. So I am personally just not even looking at the trailers because I don't want to know anything about it. Because, I mean, they're going to drop 8 episodes instantly. They're going to be 20 minutes each, and it's going to be done in a night. So
yeah. Oh, yeah, 100%. No, it is going to be – that is going to get melted. That is going to get binged like no other series gets binged before. I remember watching the first episode of Season 1. Chris and Bob were hyping it up, and I was like, you know, I hadn't even really touched League at the time. I think I watched it in less than 3 days. I think it was, and that was like only because I had to go to the office one day because I would have stayed in bed and watched. It was incredible. So really looking forward to that.
Good. So good. It's such a good like animation style. Like it's not anime. I mean, obviously we're an anime free podcast here,
yes,
but
yep.
It's a good animation style. The League elements are so good. The script is really good, and yeah, it's just. I don't know. I like that game as well as another show, Players, has got me into League of Legends. And now I'm at the verge that I might take a hiatus from League of Legends because it's not going great right now for me.
Oh, no. Oh, wait, is Players the one about the team? It's like the fictional LCS team or something like that, right? Is that any good?
Yeah, it was fantastic. Okay. I can't believe they didn't have a season 2. It was a Paramount show, so that probably is why just didn't get a lot of traction.
Yeah.
And I don't even know where you can find the episodes anymore, but yeah, it was on a fictitious LCS team coming up, and I showed it to my friend, my roommate Troy, who has been playing League since season 1 or 2, you know, so he's seen it all, and he was like, a lot of this sounds like the upbringing of TSM. And they have TSM as kind of the rival team, and they have Double Lift in the show. They have old pros
really
acting as different people. They got Scara, who's a big time persona in the League realm and stuff like that, big content creator. So super cool show, and that in turn got me into League of Legends. That's why I call myself the GSA, the greatest support alive, even though I'm now in the top lane and I'm just getting my shit punched in. So yeah, but so I'm transitioning to maybe some more fun games.
Right.
Maybe I'll go back into Destiny. Maybe I'll go back into Harry Potter Quidditch. Maybe I'll just have fun and play some NHL or something like that.
People are saying there's a lot of people saying this. I'm not talking about just me, but a lot of people are saying this new World of Warcraft expansion is the shit. I'm just saying. Bob's on it.
Yep.
Bob's on it too. I'm on it. I'm grinding. So give it some thought.
I've mentioned. Now, if I jump in and play, am I able to like get resources like I'm playing OSRS and join a guild and somehow be valuable?
Yes.
Would that be of value?
Yes, totally.
Okay.
Totally.
Okay.
And now all your stuff. Sea Dog, thank you for the resub. We appreciate you. And also hello Cole. I don't know if I said hi already, but hi. You can the crafting professions are awesome. You can spend all day flying around in circles and mining and skinning and stuff like that to your heart's content. Fishing is a hobby of mine. I love the fishing, cooking, lots of great professions. And they revamped them last expansion so that there are like profession related quests. There are like items that you can make, like you can make yourself new pickaxes and new skinning knives and stuff to make it better. And then there are guilds that probably have insane banks of crafting materials. It's a huge facet of the game. So if anything, like there was some people that were complaining that the first raid is coming out next week, and people were complaining that it got time gated. But I'm like, there's so much stuff to do with crafting and everything else that I wish they would push it back another week. Just like, not that I'm running from the grind here, but like it would just be awesome to see them. I don't know. I need some more time to understand all these systems before I start doing this insane, never-ending gear grind. Like it's almost like too peaceful right now. But you should get into it. I'm just saying, it's good stuff.
So a quick question before we change topics real quick and go into the weekend recap. How much money do I need to spend to like get the game, the expansion all together for a brand new player that has nothing?
So I don't know off the top of my head. I think you could probably get away with spending, I want to say the expansion itself, I'm going to cheat right now and look it up. I think the expansion itself is $60. Let's call it 60. And if I remember correctly, it's not like Destiny. Like if you buy the expansion, I'm almost positive you just have access to all the stuff before that. So yeah, if you buy the War Within, you will get, it's free to level 20. So you can even play up to level 20. The level cap is 80. So you kind of get like a feel for your class and kind of the professions and stuff like that. But yeah, you can play up to level 20 for free, and you'll have access to all the content before that. So you really just are paying for the new content. Okay. So yeah, that's as far as I know. And then I think it's $15 a month. There is a monthly fee because it is a
live service.
A live service game. Let me see. I'm trying to find the base edition of the game is, I'll tell you right now. There's also like the heroic edition, which will give you like a level boost. So if you just want to play the brand new stuff, you can do that. I'm like on battle.net and it's not giving me the prices. The War Within cost $50. So yeah, $50 for the basic one.
Okay. Where
are we? Yeah, base edition's 50. The heroic edition is 70. That includes a character boost. The previous expansion. Okay. I think that was more relevant before the game came out because, like, if you hadn't bought either expansion, you could have got started on this like a year ago. You get extra mounts, pets, shit like that. You get all this like extra outfits and stuff in the game. But yeah, you get a boost up to level 70, which will take you right into the brand new content right away. And it's a great entry point. There's a really good. My buddy actually literally just started playing, and he got into it right away. Like he had a bunch of like lore questions and stuff like that, but they do a pretty good recap cinematic on like, here's what every expansion has done so far. It's like 5 minutes. It's like, here's all like the big world-ending catastrophes that we've had in the last 20 years, and here's what's happening now. But yeah, I'm just saying, think about it.
I'm thinking.
So, all right, let's do a little weekend recap.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Why don't you lead us off here? What's been going on? What you've been playing? What you've been doing? What you've been watching? What do you know? What do you say?
So this weekend was big Labor Day weekend, 4-day weekend for us, and I golfed, I believe, Friday at a incredible course out east called Eagle Mountain. One of the sicker views. Every hole seemed like we were on these elevated tee boxes just looking down on Scottsdale.
Nice.
Incredible scenery. And after 6 holes, I was even. And I was playing like the best golf of my life. Now, I was even after 6. Where do you think I finished, Dom? And I have been playing 10. I was bragging 10 straight rounds, 85 or below. 10 straight rounds, even after a third way through 6 holes. How did I finish after
even?
12 more? Even after 6.
5 over.
I finished plus 17 with an 89.
Oh, no.
I averaged more than a bogey on the next 12 holes. Absolute brutal. I think I don't think I had anything to eat, and I was drinking some beers, and I don't know.
Just came
Maybe
off the
just an off
rails.
day. Yeah, it was real sad, and I thought I was gonna break 80 at this incredible course. I was going nuts. So, it's all right though. I played a little more golf. I think Sunday at our favorite course out west, and didn't shoot great there, 92. So I am humbling myself. Or actually, I guess the course and the game is humbling myself, but we're still getting after it. I've been playing a lot of League, and I grinded all the way to silver. I was surfing again on silver, and I was like, oh man, the Volley Bear top lane is explosive, and I'm coming back to gold. And then I lost the next 5 games, and I was picture Kramer coming back in, throwing my golf clubs down, saying, "Does anyone want these?" Because I don't want them. Like, I'm about to throw my mouse out the window. Be like, I don't want this thing. Get it out of my face. I'm trying to sell this League account. I'm trying to give someone $20 to take my League access and change the password because I don't want to play it anymore. Anything else I've been playing? And then I drafted a lot of fantasy football. We can talk about that when time comes. And yeah, I went to a Creed concert last night.
Ooh.
Incredible vibes. Creed, 3 Doors Down, Finger 11. Incredible vibes. Had a great time. And yeah, it was just really cool to go out there, and I haven't been to a concert. And I love the outdoor concerts, sitting on the lawn. An incredible time. I had a really good time. Really good time with Creed. I got this shirt. Had to get the band shirt.
100%.
Excited.
100%.
Had to. $45, take it.
Yeah.
Never even had it. So.
No, just evaporated right out of your pocket. You came to the venue ready to lose that $45.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. What about you, Dom?
As for me, like you said, Labor Day weekend, nice little 3-day weekend on my end. Actually helped my mom move into a new apartment, and so that was really satisfying. She's been in the same place for about 10 years and is finally kind of downsizing a little bit. My brother's moving out. She's moving into a new apartment. So, she was really excited about that, and she's now closer to us, which also feels great. So helped her move. Myself and a family friend banged that all out on Thursday afternoon. Friday, back to work, but, pretty light day on Friday. But yeah, we got her all situated, so that was great. It was her birthday, so we hung out a little bit this weekend. Played some War Within, finished the main campaign in the War Within. Very, very happy with it. Already started on an alt to play through it again. It begs to be played more than once. It is a fantastic experience. Really, really looking forward to seeing what next week brings, because that's when all the really big, heavy-hitting content, that's when that all releases. Let's see, what else I've been up to. Had a fantasy football draft. We'll talk rosters later. I was really happy with my first draft of last week. I think it was actually last Sunday. Wasn't as happy with this previous weekend's draft. I actually auto-drafted a pick that I did not want, and I was really, really pissed about it. It's the first time it's ever happened. Literally, I hit the button the same exact, but I choked. I, legit choked. But I hope it pans out. I'm really hoping it pans out. Otherwise, I do like my team. I don't love it, but I like it. We'll see this week. This will be a big truth-telling week. But I think that's it. I think that's really it. I don't think I don't think anything else really eventful happened. Made some ribs, smoked a lot of meats, and it's a great draft. The guys are always we do a potluck, 12 guys. The league's been going since 2013 or 2012, I think. And we have a trophy with kind of like the Stanley Cup, the perpetual plates on the sides. So my name's on there. My name's on there from 2014 or something like that. I think I won it. So it's been a drought. It's been a drought, but I'm on there, and that's more than half the league can say. When was that? So the league started in 2013. I won it in 2016. So it's almost Not quite a 10-year drought. But we've only ever had, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 unique champions over 10 years. So, and there's 12 guys, but it's been tough. It's a tough league to break into. But yeah, one of my buddies brought like 70 oysters. I brought like 12 pounds of ribs. We had dudes brought pizzas, wings, like 600 Bud Lights. It was great. Just really, it was everything. A lot of just male bonding time, which was great. So yeah, that was me. And Sea Dog said, I started Star Wars Outlaws. I've been grinding Fortnite. 4 victories in a row in squads. Loved the Fortnite Doctor Doom season. That's awesome. Love to hear that. Eager to hear your thoughts on Star Wars Outlaws. It's been received kind of lukewarmly by critics, but everybody I know that's actually played it in real life digs it. So looking forward to hearing more about that. But something that critics did not dig is Concord. Tiggy, are you familiar with the Concord situation? Or do you have any... have you had a second to look into this, or have you had, are you unclear what I'm talking about?
So what I've seen from social media, and I mean, it was hard to even catch the news because it came up and down like a swift hammer of justice.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even say justice is the call, but from my understanding, Concord was a Sony-driven, almost like I don't even know what it would be, like a tactical shooter, somewhat like Valorant, with some agents and stuff like that. On console, which I think is really cool because console never had it until Valorant just came recently. Came up 2 weeks later, no one was really playing it, and just kind of flopped instantly after 2 weeks, right? And they're just shutting down the servers, essentially.
Yeah. So the game launched on August 23rd. So it was about 2 or 3 weeks. This past week, just a couple of days ago, Sony announced that Concord would be shut down indefinitely. And Firewalk Studios, who produced the game, said that they would be exploring the best alternatives for the fan base. Concord is a hero shooter, from what I understand. It released to extremely, meh to okay reviews. It has a 62 on Metacritic right now. But it did get review bombed quite a bit on Metacritic for the user scores because of the aesthetics of the game, because there were a lot of I'm trying to think of the best way to put this, very heavily advertised LGBT characters, and kind of not your average lineup of hero shooter characters. Everybody, it was a very, very super diverse cast, and it got review bombed kind of right out the gate because of people saying it was too woke and that it was too concerned with identity politics than it was on being a good game. I didn't play it, so I don't know, kind of the truth of it, but it seemed like the critics kind of agreed. PC Gamer gave it a 45, which is really rough. It was getting very, mid to poor reviews, and a lot of people are saying that it was just too little too late. It goes to kind of try to copy that Overwatch formula or the other, kind of hero shooter formula, and it's also not free to play. It came out at $40, which is not expensive, but it doesn't make any sense to me why, when Overwatch 2 just came out and it was free to play, why you would try to break into a hero shooter genre that people don't care about your cast of characters, they don't care about your IP, and you're charging money. If anything, they should have started off free to play right out the gate and won that additional revenue in through a microtransaction model. But so yeah. In a world filled with hero shooters that are free to play, it kind of really suffered right out of the gate. Player numbers were in the low hundreds, but it was in development for over 8 years and cost Sony millions of dollars.
Holy crap.
So it was in development for 8 years. The budget for the game was reported to be. Let me see. I'm trying to find it. I want to say it was like
tens of millions or something, or even more.
They said Forbes Paul Tassi suggested that the game had made probably under $1 million. The exact budget is unknown, but it was definitely up there. I mean, you're paying a lot of money, especially for something that is having 8 years worth of development time and stuff like that. Really, really rough. It sold under 25,000 copies. Paul Tassi also said the budget estimates are around the $100 million mark.
Jesus.
So right out the gate, its all-time peak concurrent player count was 697. And there are 40 players playing it on Steam right now. And I think it's being taken offline on Saturday.
Yeah, that's crazy that, I mean, something like Sony would take 8 years to develop, it is a hero shooter. I guess I was misinterpreted. I thought it was going to be like a Valorant thing, because I'm like, oh, console kind of needs that. Valorant just came out. That makes sense. To make another Overwatch, and they've been developing it for 8 years, I mean, was that when Overwatch 1 just came out? Probably, I'm guessing, around that time, or maybe slightly after. So that time frame, I guess, makes sense for, it's like, hey, hero shooters are going to be the next big thing. But for 8 years to come out now with, I mean, it could have just been extremely poor luck. Overwatch 2 is essentially failing as well. Pro play has been taken out of contention.
Yep.
And I don't know if we really needed an Overwatch 2.
No.
We personally.
No.
But I mean... I watched some gameplay with the games, and it looks all right. In terms of the characters and too much into the characters, I don't know if you remember, Apex Legends kind of had that come down the pipeline as well, where there was so much lore about the characters and so much based on, like you were kind of mentioning, like maybe the game's too woke, or the reports of it was too woke and they're not focusing on the right things. Apex Legends had those issues be brought up when they added a shit ton of new characters and stuff, and it's like, why are you even telling us? Why are you telling us, like, we just want to play the game,
right?
And and now look at Apex Legends, and Apex Legends is still thriving and stuff like that. But for Sony to pull the plug, and I mean, it wasn't received very well, but for them to say 8 years, hundreds of millions of dollars, we're just going to write that off as a loss, is, I think, a little insane. I don't know if they want to just go back to the drawing board and try to revolutionize a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely tough. I mean, you look at the characters. I mean, they do have some very funky designs. A lot of them I think are straight up pretty ugly, like an oddly ugly character designs. And that's just to say that, like, that's just kind of the way that they look. Like, I think that the alien designs are kind of ugly too. There's a cool looking robot. There's like some pink lady that looks kind of cool. There's like a bug lady. There's a guy that kind of looks like what's his name from Guardians of the Galaxy. Who's the blue guy from Guardians of the Galaxy?
It's Bautista, right?
No. The guy with the red thing on his head. Oh my god, I can't remember his name. But anyway, I don't know. I mean, they look like kind of like knockoff, like Mortal Kombat characters. Some very odd looking people. I don't know. I mean, there is a lot of like generic sci-fi elements in there. They did try to make the cast of characters very diverse and colorful, which I can appreciate. Nobody wants to just play the same looking game over and over again. So, I mean, I think that obviously it getting review bombed out of the gate did not help. I don't think it killed the game, but I mean, if the game wasn't performing and they weren't really marketing it towards, they weren't like spending enough time talking about the actual game, maybe they weren't, I don't know. I mean, I didn't see any ads for the game at all. I also don't own a PS5, so I don't know if there was like splash screens on the store, but I feel like the only advertisements I saw for the game, or the only articles I saw, was about like, the diverse cast of characters, and about, the different representations that they're bringing to the table and stuff like that, and how it's kind of changing the way that sci-fi looks and da-da-da. I don't think that impacts the quality of the game. I mean, obviously, I'm sure that they had if you're spending 8 years and $100 million, I would assume that you have some competent developers behind the wheel. And I feel really bad for the people at Firewalk. I think a lot of the characters do look cool. Some of them I think look straight up ugly, but the gameplay itself didn't really look like anything special to me. And 8 years ago, I mean, when did Overwatch come out? Like 2010 or something like that.
Overwatch 1, May 24th, 2016.
Wow. Okay, so that's 8 years ago. So that's exactly 8 years ago, basically, within a matter of months. So you figure Overwatch comes out, or you know what I mean? Overwatch comes out and somebody goes, "Holy shit, we got to make Overwatch." And it takes them 8 years to make it, and by then Overwatch is donezo, basically. So you got to imagine what's been going through these devs' heads as they see games like Lawbreakers flop. They see Valorant kind of carve out its own niche with it's like Overwatch but harder. Overwatch League tanking. No other real big hero shooters except maybe Smite, which is kind of like a hero MOBA type deal, kind of break into the market. And now we got Smite 2 coming out. So you got to imagine what might have been going through the team's heads as this game is nearing release. Like, is this going to do well? And it just seems like it couldn't really find its avenue. So,
I wonder if the 8 years was spent, and like you said, I mean, just so much talking about the characters and the lore of them and stuff, and just the orientations of everything. Did they just spend so much time trying to carve out an entire world?
Yeah,
with all the lore and everything. And then the game comes out, and they kind of forgot they got to actually put a good product out there and something very unique. And
yeah,
you know what I mean? And it's like, holy shit, we spent so much time on the wrong things, and now
I mean,
I don't know.
I'm sure there's different teams, that are siloed and are trying to hey, we're going to make sure that we really nail these character designs and the environment and the lore and the way the world feels and looks and breathes. Because I guess there was going to be story content as well. But it seems like, that was just the only aspect of the game that I saw advertised. Nobody had really advertised any groundbreaking mechanics or any must play features of the game. I think I had one buddy that played the alpha and said he thought it was fun, but he's like, I'll just wait for it to go free to play. This is nothing about this game screams buy me at launch, Yeah. And also Firewalk Studios is probably a small studio, but Sony's not. So I don't think anybody feels obligated to be like, oh, let's support this small indie developer or something like that, because it's you're owned by Sony, you're getting bankrolled for hundreds of millions of dollars. This isn't an indie game.
Yeah.
It's a big budget AAA title that shit down its leg right out the gate. So I don't know. I mean, I hope the Firewalk team lands on their feet. I really hope that Concord gets a second chance and that they maybe release it as free to play. Maybe they strip back some of the features and do a freemium model. But the fact that they've already started refunding people's purchases is not a good sign.
No. And like you said, I echo. I hope the studio, lands on the feet and maybe try to. I was looking at gameplay. It looks pretty cool. I just don't know if we need another hero shooter right now. I think if they would have did something like Valorant with actual aim down sight and stuff like that, round base, I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah,
I think that'd be super sick.
Yeah. I mean, I'm right there. I'm all for trying something new. But I mean, to ask somebody to come out of nowhere to support an IP that they know nothing about and don't care about for $40 out their pocket, when there's a lot of other good games that are coming out right now, it's a tough ask. It's a tall order. I don't care if it's $40 or free. You know what I mean? So, I mean, and this is also around the same time Black Ops 6 beta came out, Splitgate 2 alpha was out, The War Within just came out, Black Myth Wukong came out. You have all these games that are scooping up people's attention, and it's hey, play $40 to play the little hero shooter that could. Mm-hmm. To take a risk, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. And the Steam charts are not that they don't tell the whole story. It's a Sony game. It's a PS5 game. I'm sure that the PS5 player numbers were higher. I hope to God. But yeah, who knows? I hope it gets a second chance at life. There was a lot of people that were comparing it to Redfall, which still kind of stunk even after the big update that it got, and then it didn't get another update from there. I played about as much of that game as I could, and I had some fun with it, but that game's a fucking broken, buggy mess on its own anyway, so I don't know what people are doing trying to compare apples to apples there because they're both not great. So, but hey, what can you do?
I feel the same. Just want to come back to the Guardians of the Galaxy character you were referring to as Udanta.
Yes, Yondu. That's right.
Is that him?
Yes. That is correct. That is correct. Let's talk a little LCS playoffs. Why don't you give us a little recap on the action that we've seen already? I know we've got a couple of matches that are coming up this weekend. We got the finals coming up. We got 100 Thieves versus FlyQuest to see who's going to punch their ticket to go to the grand finals versus Team Liquid. What has transpired over the last couple of days, Tiggy? Where are we at now, and what are the vibes like for the coming days?
Yeah, so I actually was going to possibly be in Los Angeles for this event to take place starting tomorrow. Some plans ended up changing. This weekend's going to look a little different in my world, but I will be watching LCS starting tomorrow. Like you said, 100 Thieves, FlyQuest, losers or lower bracket finals to face Team Liquid in the grand finals. Last weekend we saw, hopefully, knock on wood. All right, the finals kind of like preview with Team Liquid and FlyQuest. FlyQuest pushed into a game 5, and they were actually looking very good in the game 5 as well. Couple blunders, but all together, I think they put a really good showing out. Hopefully, the finals curse does not continue for our friends at FlyQuest. But super surprised with how well Dignitas played throughout the whole season. They beat NRG.
Yeah,
and they had a chance to possibly fight for their life and get into Worlds. And no one had Dignitas even in like the top 5 in the league. They end up finishing 4th, which I think is pretty cool, or maybe 5th. They finished 5th, which I think was still like
definitely
really
exceeded expectations for sure. People didn't even think that they were going to be in the summer split. No. People thought that they were going to just be out.
So they might. I mean, who knows? They're even talking they might not even be a team next year. So very cool to see them go so well. And they actually went game 5 with 100 Thieves. 100 Thieves. I mean, to talk about just an NA prodigy out of nowhere, this sniper guy has come onto the Rift and just been absolutely bloodying that top lane and the entire map. They win 3-2 against Dignitas. They played Cloud9, beat them 3-1, almost, essentially a gentleman's sweep. Congrats, Cloud9, and Cloud9 has made Worlds, I think, ever since 2021.
Yeah.
But before that, they've made Worlds, I think, 7 straight years before 2020. So there's been 2 or 3 total years where Cloud9 has not been at Worlds. This is now one of them as well. And they have a huge, big budget roster. So the fact that 100 Thieves came in and kind of 3-1'd them, kind of is like, holy shit, we're here.
Yeah, they got stunned for sure.
Yeah, they just looked really, really good. And 100 Thieves is a massive brand backed by Nate Shot and Courage, like big creators like that. So I think it's cool that they're in there. I'm hoping, by all gods, that FlyQuest come out and just shut them up so bad. I think FlyQuest has been playing really good. I think I think it all is going to rely on how Bwipo plays, because when FlyQuest loses, Bwipo is the one who's like out of position or gets caught and stuff like that. Quad has been a menace in the mid lane. He has been their best player. Him and Inspired have just been dominating. And Masu and Busio are doing their thing in the bot lane. So look for FlyQuest to rely heavily on like mid lane and the bot lane to keep carrying them. And Inspired is just been kind of running Ivern jungle, which is super cool to see. And you don't see that much in pro play, stuff like that. So FlyQuest, 100 Thieves tomorrow. That'll be interesting. All Bwipo should be doing is not dying solo to Sniper in the top lane. And I think they should have a good recipe for success.
Yep.
Team Liquid, on the other hand, have been the #1 seeds all the way from the spring all the way through summer. They have been looking phenomenal. Appa, APA in the mid lane has not been solo dying like he did at Worlds.
Yep.
So that has been their big success. And they've just been kind of dummying teams left and right. Like, not many matches have been close with the exception of the FlyQuest match last weekend. So I think we'll see something similar in the finals. I think FlyQuest will get there. And I think we'll probably get Silver Scrapes game 5. And I mean, game 5, you throw the stats out the window, you throw the curses out the window. And I think it should be really cool to see on Saturday.
Yeah.
Saturday finals. And I think they did that solely for NFL.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. They definitely
really
moved
cool
that up. So we got football today. Baltimore and Kansas City just kicked off, and then we have LCS playoffs tomorrow.
Yep.
And then we have LCS finals on Saturday, and then 7 hours of commercial-free football on Sunday. Absolutely can't wait. And I think it's worth noting too that Sniper on 100 Thieves is NA grown. He's a Canadian talent. He's from NA, and it's always good to see young NA talent coming up and just beasting out of nowhere. So, obviously, I mean, we're a very pro FlyQuest podcast. Not an advertisement. We're not sponsored, but the DMs are open. But it's cool to see young NA talent, just hit the rift running and start blowing it up. So, really he's one to watch for sure. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing. Obviously, it was a bummer that FlyQuest couldn't get it done against Liquid, and now they have to kind of go through the path of most resistance against 100 Thieves, which is just like the team that won't go away. But Cloud9's going to have a nice quiet off season. So
yeah, it might not be so quiet because roster moves probably coming down with how the roster didn't perform. But super cool to see 100 Thieves, FlyQuest, Team Liquid all going to Worlds in the fall for us. Big match Friday tomorrow because the winner is going to be in kind of like pool play already. The loser is going to have to go through the play-in bracket. They're going to be playing like the CBLOL team, probably like the Oceanic / like Vietnamese team coming in, as well as like the 4th seed from Korea, the 3rd seed from China and stuff. It's going to be a gauntlet just to get past that. So you don't want to, I mean, every game's a must win, but you really want to go to the finals here. You don't want to
100%.
lose and then, be
100%.
2 games out of World. So Sniper has already called out Zeus from T1 saying, I'm coming for you at World. So they got a lot of confidence 100 Thieves. And like you said, I really hoping FlyQuest pull it out, but it's going to be a hell of a match tomorrow. I'm super excited.
100%. And I mean, we know how tough that pool play is. I mean, watching FlyQuest try to navigate that last year was really tough. Obviously, NRG didn't last much longer once they got to groups, but it was tough. It's tough, dude. I mean, Worlds is hard. But we'll get there. You know what else is really hard, Tiggy?
What's really hard?
Drafting a good fantasy football team.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know. I mean, do you have one league, multiple leagues? What's your annual commitment looking like?
So my annual commitment is 2 leagues. I do one with like Gerber, my brother, my cousin, like my roommate, like just kind of like a bunch of buddies we game with and stuff that we'll do. And we don't even do it for money, but it's a dynasty league. So we keep all our players. And we have been trading draft picks though, because we draft the rookies. So I, last place, dead last place, but I also made a trade. I forget who. So I had like the 4th overall pick and the 1st overall pick. So like 1st overall pick, I'm like, boom, Marvin Harrison Jr., too easy. And then Gerber really wanted the 4th overall pick. And I'm like, who does he even want? Because like Xavier Worthy's going to be gone. Roman Dunze's going to be gone. Does anyone want neighbors? Like Daniel Jones is the quarterback. And I'm like, who does this guy even want? But I got a huge upgrade at running back for him. I got Saquon Barkley. I'm like, holy shit, I got Saquon Barkley for this 4th overall pick, essentially. I'm like, let's go. So a lot of things could happen in that league. That league's very fun. I'm in a massive punishment league.
That's right. That's right.
We all saw the clip on episode 400 where I was puking at the beer mile.
Yep.
I owe a beer mile still from last year, so I still will be doing a beer mile sometime. But these weekly punishments for that league are utterly ridiculous. I'm going to pull them up right now because those punishments are brutal. I feel like I have a very good draft for that 12-man league. Like I got James Cook as my RB2. I think maybe like 6th round or something, like super late. And everyone was just grabbing receivers. Everyone gets confused about the PPR, and it's like it's only half PPR. There's so many receivers. There's only so many starting running backs out there.
That's true.
So I will take James Cook all day. And then I did, there was a work league that they wanted me to play, and I basically told them no 10 times. And they're like, you're coming to the draft, right? I'm like, no, I basically said no. It's like, well, we need you. I'm like, I'm not coming to the draft. And they're like, well, it's an offline draft, so you better be here. And I'm like, I literally sent a lineup to my friends, and I was like, tell me what pick. He was like, second overall pick. I'm like, cool. Running back first round. Second round, pick a receiver. Third round, pick a receiver. Fourth round, running back. Just take the top available on the board.
Oh, okay.
Give me that.
All right.
And so I drafted that way, and I think I got a decent, but I will say the guy who was doing that was the pick after me. So I'm like, he could have finagled a couple things to take the guy he wanted.
That's a little tough. That's a lot of trust that you got in your buddy there. That's for sure. So you have a 12-team league, and then you have the kind of the hometown dynasty. I've only ever done redraft leagues. I've got 2 as well. One of them is kind of like the big money league. No really big punishments. I mean, usually we like buy a round of shots for the person in last play, dead last. We'll buy a round of shots for everybody, but like that's 12 guys, so that's like an extra $150 that you're paying there minimum, which sucks. But and like during COVID, I think we couldn't do that, so the guy was like, "I'll just bring a bottle over to whoever's house is doing it, and we'll do it that way or whatever, or like add it to the pot at the end of the year." But it's a decently big pot, and like I said, I mean, I'm in a big drought. It's been I think 8 years since I've been there, and I haven't even sniffed the finals since then. I think I was like top 3. I think I was 3rd one year. But I've been usually in the playoffs. Usually I'm like the 5th or 6th seed, but it's a tough league. It's a really tough league. Everybody's very competitive. I think the majority of the people that are in it, it's like their baby. Like that's their primary league. So I mean, both of my teams this year, I tried to draft a running back as late as I could. Last year I went 0 RB until like the 5th round.
What?
Yeah, and I was in the finals, and I made it to the finals. Okay. So I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna share my screen. I'm gonna show you the league here. Yep. I'm gonna show you the team. So this is, hold on one second. Wait, let me get my, I gotta extend the screen on the podcast here. I'll show you what I mean.
Okay.
Hold on. Here we go.
I see a lot of guys I like.
Yeah. I mean, I think this is good for a 12. I had the 4th pick for a 12-team league. I think this is pretty good.
Yep.
So Anthony Richardson was who I auto-drafted.
Okay.
And that was like 6th or 7th round, I think. Mm-hmm. And I panicked. I was trying to figure out like wide receiver RB. There was only 2 or 3 quarterbacks off the board, and he's projected high, but we didn't even really see a whole lot of him last year. So. Yeah. I would not have picked him there. If I really did want another quarterback, I would have picked somebody else. But I really hope he proves me wrong. His projections are insanely high, but obviously we just don't know.
I think he's only played. I think I saw a report that he's only played like 16 games after high school.
That's like insane.
College and professional included.
That's legitimately fucking wild and terrifying. Yeah. So I genuinely hope that he's just like this generational talent, and I just don't know it. Otherwise, pretty happy about the team. James Conner was the first running back that I picked up, and that was probably 5th or 6th round. And then I auto-drafted Kirk Cousins last because I shut my phone off before the 15th round or whatever. So, I mean, like Javon Baker and Xavier Leggett are rookies, so we'll see what happens with them. Calvin Ridley I thought would have been good because what's his name's out for the season.
Not for the season.
Who's out?
Not D-Hop, right?
No, I'm sorry. No, not D-Hop. There was another guy on Tennessee.
The receiver?
Was it Tyler Boyd? No, Tyler Boyd's on the Bengals.
Traylon Burks?
Why is this giving me a fucking... I don't know. Maybe I had it wrong, but I think Calvin Ridley is genuinely pretty good, so we'll see what happens there. But yeah, pretty happy with this team right now. Dead even projections for the first matchup, and I like week 1 because you kind of just play them as they lie, right? It's just like, this is the team I drafted. There's no use even tinkering with it right now. Start your studs. And I like Malik Neighbors. I think even though the Giants are horrendous and Daniel Jones is Daniel Jones, I think he could be cool. And I named my team after him. Neighbors think I'm selling dope. So
I have heard, I don't watch a lot of college football, but people said legitimately after Marvin Harrison, Malik Neighbors is the next most talented receiver on the board.
Yeah.
But
I totally agree.
Yeah.
I mean, I think for talent's sake, he's up there. And again, it's like a start your studs type of thing. So,
I like Drake London too. I think he'll have a good year with Kirk.
Yeah, I picked up Drake London on both teams. This is a 10-team league. This is full PPR. Josh Jacobs is now the RB1 in Green Bay, so looking forward to seeing him run wild. Alvin Kamara, he's just Alvin Kamara. And
Kamara, he's so good.
He's unbelievable. CeeDee Lamb, I think, was my first pick. I got Puka. Brock Bowers was like one of my last picks, and I thought he was kind of a steal because they said he's like the most athletically gifted tight end that's like come out of college, like the most NFL ready pick in the draft. Like they said he was literally just ready to come out and be a monster. So, who knows? Who knows what happens there? I think I killed it in this draft personally, but I could be wrong. I hope I'm not.
I like David. I like David Montgomery too. I like David Montgomery. Gibbs is already getting hurt a little bit. Amari Cooper on the bench. I like Amari Cooper too. I mean, he's the wide receiver 1 at Cleveland.
Yep. So
they're gonna throw.
So that's me. So those are the two teams. I mean, I don't know if you want to pull yours up and show us the goods, but
I can do that. I'll show my punishment league here, and I'll rattle off some punishments here. I think that'd be.
Oh yeah, please do.
Be probably pretty good. Here we go. So here we go. Here's mine.
Let's take a look.
Good. Look on the stream. Yeah. So I got Jared Goff at quarterback, and I got him super late. I was debating on when to get a quarterback, but I saw a tweet. I don't know who from, but Jared Goff excels in the dome.
Yeah.
And I think he's playing 14 of the 17 games in a dome this year.
Really?
So I was like, I can wait till like round 10, and I got Jared Goff, and I'm like, hell yeah. I got Pacheco playing right now. James Cook, I think I got 6th or 7th round, super late for an RB2, but I was like, dude, receivers are going left and right.
Yeah,
And I grabbed him. I got him on Ross St. Brown, little double dip in with Jared Goff, Debo Samuel. Evan Ingram, I think, is going to play fantastic because Calvin Ridley's not there. That's going to be more targets.
Less mouths to feed. Yeah.
Yep, I think he'll be good. I think Christian Kirk's going to have a good year, too, down there. Jerome Ford, I love Jerome Ford. Nick Chubb is still hurt, still recovering from his, I believe, ACL tear last year. And he's a 3-down back. He's catching passes. He's doing it freaking all. So I love Jerome Ford. Cowboys defense, Boswell kicking for Pittsburgh, and he's going to be kicking a lot because who knows how many touchdowns we're going to score.
Yep.
And then, I got the bench. I got some Keenan Allen, star-studded guy that he'll probably be good for like 7 catches a game still.
Yep.
So D-Hop. I'm looking at these guys, and I'm kind of like, the only thing I don't have a lot of depth in is running back. Thank God I have Jerome Ford, and he's starting right now. But, like, I mean...
Dude, I like P. Ryan. I like Samaje P. Ryan. I'm just saying, God forbid something happens with Pacheco. Yep. He's good, dude. He can rumble. And they just picked him up, like, last minute. Like, I think, like, last week or the week before, right? Like, they just picked him up. And he could rumble on, like, when I think he had 1 or 2 really big games last year when Joe Mixon was down, if I remember correctly. And I think, God forbid, again, like, running backs I think running backs are genuinely tougher to come by than, like, really, really good, like, season-long running backs are tougher to come by. So you got to have those handcuffs. So I like that. I like that. That's a bench steal, I think.
Absolutely. And I have Pacheco starting, too. So Pacheco goes down, boom.
Little handcuff, yep, 100%.
And this Zach Charbonnet guy, a lot of people said he could be the starting running back. I think they drafted someone who's going to start above him. But they were like, hey, God forbid something happened, but Zach Charbonnet, pretty good down here. So super happy with this. And hopefully I won't get any of these punishments here. I'm going to read some of them. It's one is you got to run a lemonade stand for 1 hour minimum outside. All proceeds go to the prize pool.
Love that.
Beer mile. One is eat a half bag of popcorn by throwing the pieces up into the air and into your mouth one at a time. And every time you miss, you have to insult a player on your team. You got to go live on Facebook and you have to podcast just random topics until you finish a bottle of wine. You got to go karaoke One Last Breath by Creed, which honestly isn't even a punishment.
No,
come on.
I was gonna say I would do that right now.
Yeah, we got 18 hours in a bar, and you basically like drink and eat your way out of it.
Oh, Jesus.
The IHOP thing. I like this one. Call your mother-in-law, speakerphone, and talk about your fancy team for at least 10 minutes or until she ends the call. But it's just ridiculous stuff like that. So anytime it's like weekly losses, so you just really don't want to be the last, the lowest scoring every week. So
yeah.
That's all you're trying to be. You're trying to be one of the other 11.
Damn. Yeah, that's I mean, is there a decent like money pool for that too, or is it kind of just like all bad, no money?
No, so that one is like a big money. I think we throw $100 in there. So
Yep.
Not only are we trying not to lose, at the end of the day, I'm just trying not to lose, and I'm like, oh yeah, I keep forgetting I'm just donating $100 every year. I don't think I've made the playoffs in the 4 years I've been in it.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I mean, hey, the basically you win this league once that I'm in, and it's like you're good for the next like 10 years basically with that payout. So, I'm coming up on that time though. So I think this is my year. I'm hoping it's my year. Last year could not have gone much worse. I traded Amon-Ra St. Brown for Derrick Henry straight up. I don't know if you remember that, but that literally torpedoed my season. I was on like a 6-game winning streak, and then I went on like a 6-game losing streak, and ended up on the verge of the playoffs. I ended up in like 7th or 8th place, I think. It was like a win and in game because there was so many teams that were like plus minus 1 win, and it was a win and in game and couldn't get it done. Meanwhile, Amon-Ra St. Brown put up like 9,000 points a game. Derrick Henry just is not the Derrick Henry he once was. So
Did the guy you trade end up going high in the postseason and stuff?
Yeah, he was in the finals.
There you go.
And I actually did the math. I like mathed it out because I was legitimately losing my mind. And one of the guys in my league was like, why would you ever do this to yourself? I literally put a spreadsheet together and I mathed out their points together versus like if I had just started one instead of the other straight up, and I would have won almost every game. I like literally probably would have went almost undefeated for the rest of the year because it was like plus or minus 15 points, and it was that bad. I would have been the 1 seed probably. So
that's insane.
Yeah. So, but hey, we got one voicemail. We'll break it up a little bit, but this is the year, Tiggy. This is the year. You're not doing any beer miles, and I'm winning the pot. We're going back to back, and all right, we got one caller. 617-701-7678, the WGG Internet Dad Sauce Line. C-Dog, what do you got for us?
Yo, WGG, it's C-Dog 209. Checking in. I'm so glad you had Chris on last week. It was a good time. I just wanted to speak to the backyard sports. For me, they need to nail the backyard baseball first before they process any other backyard soccer, football, basketball, hockey, skateboarding, all the rest. They need to nail the backyard baseball for sure, 100%. Nail it so that it's also, like, it's good for me, it's good for kids, it's good for anybody who just wants to play and have a good time and not worry about hard difficulty, whatever. And then, what happened to, remember all the kid games we used to play in the 90s and in the early 2000s? What happened to those type of games where, like, you solved puzzles and there was, like, different games for different first graders and fifth graders and fourth and, like, different grades and whatever? And, like, you'd be, like, in Egypt or you'd be in a tropical island or there was, like, putt-putt and all that stuff, all those type of games. Whatever happened to those games? Am I just too old and I'm not looking for them, or they just don't exist? All right, guys. Love you. Peace.
C-Dog, thank you for the voicemail. Yeah, totally agree on the backyard sports thing. I think we talked about that at length last week. Definitely want to have a good degree of fun for all ages. Obviously, primarily geared towards kids because obviously it was a very simple kids game when it first started out. But I would love to see something like arcadey that, older kids can enjoy as well. And in terms of the kids' games, I don't know, man. I mean, there was like a Bluey video game that came out not too long ago. But in terms of like the old, point and click kind of kids adventure games. I haven't seen. Have you seen anything like that, Tiggy? Because I haven't seen any of those come out recently.
No, not recently. Maybe they're all on iPads now because that's what.
That's the explanation.
Playing, you know what I mean?
That's the explanation. iPads is the explanation. Sea Dog.
Yeah.
iPads is where those games went, dude. Yeah, no, that's definitely it. But thank you for the voicemail. We appreciate you. Let's land the train, shall we?
Yep.
All right, Tiggy, what do you got?
So I mentioned I won't be at LCS unfortunately Saturday, but I will be at Chase Field Saturday afternoon. I will be attempting to hit a home run out of
the
park. Well, not out the park, but over the fence. So there's this buddy, he works on base, and we golf with him and stuff like that. He is a season ticket holder of the Arizona Diamondbacks. As a season ticket holder, you get to come out once a year and you swing for your seats. If you hit a home run, you get your season tickets paid for.
Really?
And he's allowed to choose a champion,
like trial by combat.
Like trial by combat here. I'm Oberyn Martell, and I'm going to go up there and I'm going to take a hack.
Wow, dude. Let's fucking go. What's the do we know what the distance is?
So I think it's got to be like 330 down the line. So I'm trying to pull it right down the line. It's wooden bats. I think it's 60 mile per hour machine. You get 5 pitches. You might as well swing at all of them because you don't get to take any pitches, and you have to use their bats. So I'm going to some cages around here. I'm working out on this wooden bat, and I'm trying to get the trajectory and the power right. So I'm hoping to do that for him. He said he's going to give me a lot of money because it's going to save him a hell of a lot of money, so he doesn't have to pay it. So can't be a college athlete, can't be a professional baseball player of any caliber as well.
Okay, so Gerb was out of the question.
Gerb was out of the question. I think a couple of years ago, a lot of people did that and brought like a minor league player around Arizona to come and do it. And
they had a ringer.
They were like, how are 10 people winning their seats? And it's like the entire Dodgers, like Latin America team that just stays in Arizona the whole year. You know what I mean? Because that's essentially like they got 17-year-olds here the whole time just playing and stuff. So
oh my god. So how many like at bats? You just get 3 strikes and that's it. What's the?
You get 5 pitches from a machine. 5 pitches from a machine.
Wow.
So I'm gonna try. I'm gonna be swinging my hardest, and I literally think I could do it. This is like all-time guy thinks he can do fucking way too much. I think I can hit a home run out of an MLB stadium.
I mean, listen, that is a incredible accolade, and I hope that if you do win these season tickets for your buddy, that he ends up redeeming or I don't know what an annual season ticket cost is. I mean, he better be giving you half of that shit.
He's given me quite a pretty penny. He said.
All right.
Yeah. Yep. And I also want access to those season tickets maybe a couple times.
100%. You need at will. Mm-hmm. You're an employee at will, basically. You're a wingman at will there, 100%. Well, love to hear that. Good luck. That's huge. As for me, patreon.com/wickedgoodgaming. Go support the show for as little as $1. Other than that, got really nothing. Looking forward to seeing some LCS action tomorrow. Let's go FlyQuest. Yeah, really looking forward to it. So, yeah, fingers crossed for Tiggy to hit an absolute salami out of the ballpark, earn some season tickets, and you know what you need is that Mark McGwire turbo bat is what you need.
Dude, I need that, and then hopefully
you should do steroids.
Hopefully they don't catch the Mexican steroids going through my veins right now because that could be bad. Imagine they piss test after the home run.
Imagine. Oh man, that would be
player busted for roids after home run in MLB Stadium.
Can you bring your own bat?
So you cannot. You have to use their bat.
So you can't cork it. All right. Okay, I was gonna say. I mean, let's talk about it. But we'll edit that out. We'll edit that out. Just in case you actually do it, we'll edit that out.
Yeah, cut that.
We'll cut that. All right, well, this has been episode 404 of Not Another Gaming Podcast. Thank you so much for listening. Go to patreon.com/wickedgoodgaming to support us for as little as $1. We love you so much, and we'll see you next week.